Welcome to the MIT-ADT podcast. With us today, we have CA Hitesh, and we'll be talking to him about his experience and gain some insights about the CA world in general. Hitesh, welcome. Welcome to MIT-ADT. First of all, how has your experience been today?
Thank you so much for having me. The experience has been great. So far, I think I was used to discussing budgets from the tax perspective, mainly, looking at direct tax and indirect provisions based on the work that I've done. But this time I've looked at the budget from an entrepreneurial and a business perspective, and this was done solely to help the students. And I think this angle helped them as well, and obviously it also helped me. So I think it was a great experience.
Lovely. So you also work with a lot of corporates, and you have your own practice as well. What are those 2-3 skills that a student today studying in perhaps their final year, pre-final year today, at somebody who's studying maybe BBA, doing a BCom or a BC or an MBA? What is it? What are those 2-3 skills that student should be sort of aware of, before getting into the corporate world?
I'll break this down into 2 parameters. If that student or if you are looking for a job, I think, it's very important that you have the right set of communication skills, which we can broadly categorize as soft skills. And the second important skill would be to have the right set of computer skills, right? I mean, if you're probably having a tilt towards marketing, then you should have the right social media management and editing skills. But if you're having a tilt towards finance, then it's maybe the data analysis tools. Those are the skills that you should have. But if there are some students, and I really hope that there are, who are having a tilt towards entrepreneurship right from day one, then I feel that, they need to have 2 skills which are very important. The first is a very in-depth understanding about the industry that they're choosing, about the kind of business that they're choosing. And the second is the ability to network with people, with the right set of people, and the ability to sell to them, which again is part of communication skills. So I think when it comes to entrepreneurship, networking, sales, and understanding of the business industry is very important. And when it comes to a job, I think computer skills and communication skills would sum up the skills that you should have.
I think you've answered my next question, which was what could be the golden mantra for success? Or what are those 2 things that, students should do during their college life to sort of, look at and be on a path to succeed? So I think mantra is network, communication
with the right people, have the right communication skills, and be a good salesperson.
Lovely. What are those 2 things that as a college student I should be aware of in terms of entrepreneurship? So if we've spoken about the business, the corporate side of things, but if I'm looking at entrepreneurship, I want to start my own business. Even today at the session, we were talking about how the angel tax is no longer there and other, benefits that, the government offers. So from an entrepreneurship perspective, if I am a budding entrepreneur studying in my pre-final year, final year, maybe those 2 things that I should be aware of?
The first thing that you should be aware of is that angel taxation investing will probably come a lot later. Whether you start your own business, you bootstrap, or whether you want to raise funds from day one, you will have to consider 2 things. The first is that if you are starting your own business and you want to bootstrap it, you will struggle with having your own money and having your own capital. And that is why we categorize businesses into 2 parts. Have a service business first. Any business that requires you to provide a service, do that first. I mean, as a CA, probably I'm providing some financial services. If you are not a CA, you may be good at video editing, provide that service first. You are just spending your time earning money through that, build your capital, and then probably invest it into your own business, right? So in short, you are having your experience first by working with other people, and then you are investing in your business. But if you really want to go ahead and probably raise money at first, you have to understand that angel investors or venture capital investors are not easy to deal with. They will expect you to have a lot of in-depth analysis about the industry that you are working on, some hands-on experience. You might have done some projects. So if you are probably directly going for an entrepreneurship route, then the second thing that you take care of is that you take some work experience. Show some demonstration that, I've worked in this industry, I've worked with these kind of people, and now I am ready to start on my own, right? Because you're dealing with somebody else's money, you need to give them that proof. But if you're dealing with your own money, which is your bootstrap business, then I think you should start with a service business, accumulate that capital, and then again invest it into your own business.
No, I think these are pretty interesting points, and it's also that side of the story that a lot of people don't talk about. It's all about the glamour, it's all about the money, the valuation, and the PR, but I think it's important to build it from scratch, and at the end of the day, you're responsible for whatever you're offering.
Exactly. And the fun fact is that venture capital investors receive probably anywhere between 30 to 300 pitch decks in a day, right? And I would say that 90% of them get rejected. The 10% get sent to the investment committee, and then the top 1% or 2% get funded. So the rejection rate is much higher. And that is why, despite, having worked with a venture capital fund, I always say that if you can bootstrap your startup, if you can put your own money into it, nothing better than it, because then you are your own boss. But if you take somebody else's money somewhere, you have to be aware of the compromises and the adjustments that you have.
At the end of the day, you're responsible for the money. I think it was short and sweet. Hitesh, thank you so much for taking out time, gracing the occasion, and I'm sure that the event was good. You enjoyed it. The students have certainly taken back something from it, and looking forward to probably having you over sometime soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. It was a great experience for me, and I think I learned a lot from the panelists. Thank you so much.